Okay, so let's talk about this just really briefly to end this entire conversation. So, did you know that snowflakes take time to produce themselves, to form? They take time. That is the divine process of God. For a snowflake to be so dendritic, so ornate, so detailed, do you know that that takes time? Divine timing. And for those who don't know what dendritic means, it basically means to root, to branch out. A snowflake takes time. I remember doing a project on this when I was in elementary school. I was in my last year of elementary school, so grade 8 going to high school. And I did an entire project. It was a presentation on snowflakes and learned a lot about the process. But the fact that each snowflake is never imitated, replicated, or made the same, and that each specific snowflake takes its time being formed to branch out and make all those roots of beautiful, ornate detail. And then you've got these cloud seeding snowflakes that are literally all identical, denser and heavier. This is why the snow is sounding different when you shovel it. It does not feel like snow because it is not really snow, because the snowflakes aren't even looking like snowflakes if you stop to look at them. But let's just go into the detail here. So the iconic dendritic form of a snowflake literally forms at a certain temperature. It's usually from -12 to -16. Of course, it snows at 0, but the actual snowflake forms, the dendrites form at -12, -16, and they form slowly and orderly. Again, like everything else in the universe, they form slowly and orderly. Why? Because this gives them time to branch out, to root, to branch out. It allows for the absolute delicate branching and the six-fold symmetry. Do you know what a miracle that is? Like, I'm getting emotional right now. Do you know what a miracle a snowflake is? Do you know what a miracle a snowflake is? Do you know what a representation of the divine order, of symmetry that is? They're actually so fragile, and they're actually created in luxury conditions. So they're actually luxurious. A snowflake is actually luxurious. And then we have the cloud seeding snowflakes, or the geoengineered snowflakes, or the weather modified snowflakes. Silver iodide, when it is used in cloud seeding, what it does is it introduces many nuclei at once, and so it does not have that slow, divine, orderly process of creating the most immaculate symmetry. This shift grows more toward plates, pillars, columns, needle fragments, irregular fragments, and even rhymed particles, which is basically snow collecting liquid droplets. So instead of getting one crystal developing and being created beautifully, you get many crystals developing at the same time, colliding with each other, growing into a lump and being very heavy. They are bumping into one another. And I just want to say one last thing here. Silver iodide mimics ice. It is not the real thing. The silver iodide's lattice is enough to resemble ice, but it is not the same thing. And if it is not the same thing, it is not the real thing. And if it is not the real thing, then we are not actually allowing real water to nourish our plants and our grasses and our earth and our trees over the wintertime when all of this melts. And although it's enough and similar enough to trigger freezing, it is not identical. And if God made something so immaculate as the snowflake, wouldn't you want to ensure that that is what we actually got? And I know for many, you might be thinking, well, that doesn't even matter, but it does matter, and let me tell you why. Natural ice particles tend to be very sparse, whereas silver iodide creates artificial abundance. And anything created as an artificial abundance can be of no good. It literally grows faster than it normally should and would. So if you find that we are getting a lot of snow pellets, grains, clumps, things that feel like styrofoam, which is what I literally just shoveled, that's what people are describing as, this doesn't even look like snow, because it isn't. And it's pretty sad to me, in a world that was created by God, where everything was created to define beauty at its finest, Silver iodide is introduced to form snow to fall quickly. It's not even about the beauty, but I bet most people don't think about that. Most people don't think about that snow was formed to be beautiful. Each snowflake, the dendrites taking their time, the perfect order and symmetry. I mean, it is divine creation. And instead, here we are producing something quickly to make it fall. And for what purpose? For what purpose are we removing the divinity from something as simple, complex, and beautiful as a snowflake? And although it is stated that cloud seeding doesn't always remove the perfect snowflake, it only does allow the perfect snowflake to fall if the seeding is done lightly. The temperature profile is ideal, the vapor supply is high, and the growth time is long. But as we've seen, this isn't what is happening. So if you are outside shoveling this winter's snow and you keep telling yourself, this doesn't look like snow, this doesn't feel like snow, you're not hallucinating. It isn't snow. It's actually imitation snow. Yeah. And to all those who want to say it's snow, I'm going to finish with one last sentence. Cloud seeding with silver iodide favors rapid growth, favors competitive ice growth. It produces denser, simpler, and more often more rhymed snow particles instead of slow growing, ornate, and delicate snowflakes, literally made from perfect geometry. Gifts from God.